Hello, I'm Melinda McClain. I'm the pastor for the Good Table United Church of Christ in El Cerrito, moving to El Sobrante. And I'm sitting here in our living room, and behind me you can see Meyer lemon tree that has many lemons on it, and a pear tree that has many blossoms, and we will have pears, and you can see perhaps the hill behind us, which is the backside of Wildcat Canyon. We are here on the banks of the San Pablo Creek, which from time immemorial belonged to the Huichin people, the Ohlone people. And in fact, a few miles away from here, there's a shell mound that was excavated at one point. And we know that they lived in this place for at least 4,000 to 5,000 years, and probably much longer. This home once belonged to one of our founding members of the Good Table UCC, then known as Mira Vista United Church of Christ. Her name was Alice Parks, and Alice was an Army nurse who served in World War II and during the occupation of Japan, came back to the Bay Area, and with her husband Bud, bought this house in 1955 using the GI Bill. Alice continued her nursing career and at one point was actually head of nursing at Kaiser Permanente, where many of us to this day get our health care. We were able to purchase this house in 2014, and it's the first house I have ever owned, and I was in my 50s before that was possible. And without help from Alice carrying the loan and help from the church, it would not have been possible for me. But I'm here to talk to you about the Black Homeownership Reparations Fund. And I'm mindful of that sitting in this beautiful home, which has been our refuge during the pandemic, where our garden and our fruit trees and this beautiful space has been such a gift to us. I am mindful that Alice, had she not been married to Bud, would not have been able to purchase this home on her own because women were not recipients of the GI Bill, even though they served in the war. And the GI Bill also was not open to African Americans, even though they served faithfully during the war. And so this home in 1955 could not have been purchased by an African American person using the GI Bill. And in fact, much of this whole area, which was developed immediately after the war for all the people who had come to work in the factories, in the shipyards, the Rosie the Riveters, and all the African American folks who migrated from the South out to the West to serve in the military, to serve in the industries here. When they finished their service, there was an unequal thank you. An unequal thank you that said if you were white and male, you could use the GI Bill to buy a home and have the ability to build wealth over time through your home. This is what Richard Rothstein talks about in his book, The Color of Law. This kind of structural discrimination is not all that far away. Alice lived through it, and I knew Alice, and we bought this home from Alice, who lived through that time period. It's not easy now to buy a home for many people in California, but it is virtually impossible if you haven't had some form of wealth to hand down. And so this fund makes an effort to level that playing field just a bit. So I invite you to give as generously as you can to the Black Homeownership Reparations Fund started by Arlington Community Church, because everyone deserves to have their own refuge, and it shouldn't be a matter of discrimination that you are unable to purchase a home and live your life. Give as generously as you can.